because it is very different, the picture I see, than what you'll hear from the politicians and from the mainstream media. It's hard for me to say exactly how many people were there. If I was to hazard a guess, I would say that it's, well, more than just hundreds, probably 2,000 or 3,000 people, and I'm sure people come and go as well, so they're probably not all constantly there, but some of them have been there the whole way through this protest. So I'm outside Parliament here and I'm talking to Don. Don, what brings you here to Parliament to the protest today?
Tony, I'm very passionate about why I'm here today. There's, I suppose, a few motivating factors for me is, one, my adult children lost their jobs. They were mandated. My daughter, Grace, was a support worker. She lost her job because she chose not to get the jab. My son-in-law lost his job because he chose not to get the jab, and he was a crane driver, which is very interesting because it's supposed to be about health and safety. So my son-in-law, he's way up there, and you know, he's not seen anybody all day long, so it just did not make sense. So they ended up losing their jobs. They were worried about obviously paying the rent, and so they asked me, what are we going to do, Dad? So I'm really proud of my kids for making that stand and choosing not to, and then losing their jobs. So other doors open. I'm a business owner, so I've now brought them home. They had to move from Wellington to Auckland, and they're working for me now. So the other reason, my son Isaiah here, he was also in a disability support group, and he was ostracised because he chose not to get the jab. They didn't want to eat with him. They didn't want to meet with him anymore until he got the jab. And so he was like, Dad, that's wrong. So they're two, very major contributing factors why I choose to be here. But also, I suppose the biggest one really is it's about the kids. My kids are adults. However, I'm going to have grandchildren one day, and I don't want to see my grandchildren grow up in a place where they have to wear masks, where they have to 2 metre distance, where there's no freedom. So, I'm very passionate about our freedom.
Timothy Renee Van Delden, man.
Timothy, how long have you been here?
I've stayed 2 nights. I've come up from Oamaru in the South Island.
That's a long way up.
Yep. I hitchhiked up. I left home with $3 in my pocket and just started hitchhiking, and people just blessed me on the way, and ended up getting caught out in the weather and freezing my ass off one night in the rain under some trees and that, and I got picked up the next morning, and these people bought clothes and food for me, bought me a plane ticket, sent me on the plane, carried my bag all through the airport. Man, I'm just amazed by the atmosphere of everyone. Everyone's getting behind it. If they can't get here themselves, they're making sure other people can, just so their voice is heard,
So you don't think this is just a little fringe minority of New Zealanders, as the mainstream media and Jacinda Ardern would try and tell you?
No, absolutely not, man. It's just amazing, There's people from all walks of life here. Even people on the way supporting, people standing out on the road offering coffees and food, and a seat in their car out of the rain while they're resting and that, washing clothes for them, taking them home, having showers. Man, it's just like brought out the human spirit from out of nowhere.
So why have you come? What's your main reason for being here?
I've got 7 kids at home, and 2 of my girls, they won't go to school by choice because they've been forced to wear a mask, and I've got 2 other girls that are getting breakouts around their face from having to wear a mask because they're choosing to wear it because they don't want to lose on going to school and seeing their friends and that, I just think that's real sad, It's like yesterday I saw a little girl, she's about 4 years old, with her parents, and she's holding a sign and it's just said, I miss swimming lessons. It's like, this girl can't even learn how to swim without, walk gun and having something that's completely untested and that, it's just madness, man.
So what do you hope to achieve by being here?
They just need to recognise the people's wishes and drop the mandates and recognise the science behind it that they are portraying is actually false and misleading.
Thank you.
Good, man.
So I'm asking Vicky, why are you here at the protest?
I am a mother and a grandmother, a newly appointed grandmother. And I tell you what, I am not happy. In the 2.5 years that this government's been ruling our country, or even longer, I am not happy at all. And I do not want my granddaughter to be caught up in this sort of division, in this sort of country. Absolutely no.
Do you think the mainstream media has been giving this protest a fair and unbiased reporting?
Would you like me to laugh or just say no? There you go.
Cheers, thank you. Kate, why are you here at the protest? I see an interesting slogan written on the back of your shirt.
Well, I was physio for 20 years and I believe in pro-choice. We shouldn't be forced to have a vaccine if we don't feel that we need it. COVID's a very mild illness for someone in my age category. So I didn't want the vaccine and they fired me.
I'm here with Johnny. Johnny, what brings you to the protest in Wellington?
I've come to stand up for my children and stand up for their rights and honour my grandparents that fought in the war for our freedoms. I had my grandfather fought in the war. He went to Korea, and my great grandfather was a lieutenant colonel in the army and fought in both wars, World War I and II. And yeah.
How do you think this current government isn't honouring that, or what's your main concerns?
Oh, the lies, really. The lies and narcissistic behaviour of all the MPs in Parliament. I mean, I haven't really seen any of them stand up for the people, Winston Peters, but he's not an MP anymore.
Well, Winston Peters unfortunately helped this current government get into power.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's right. Yeah.
So what do you hope to achieve by being here?
Well, ultimately, I think, speaking for myself, I'd like to see Jacinda's resignation. And I'd also like to see a massive change to politics. I mean, I think it's becoming pretty obvious right now. Left and right politics is just the king of division, really.
Two wings on the same bird. It's looking like.
I said this to a person the other day. I says, no more left, no more right, no more wet bird. Because that's what it is to me.
Tiffany, why are you here?
Well, I'm here. I work for the Department of Corrections, 12 years, getting mandated. But even before I got mandated, which is in effect from March 25, the whole thing's wrong. The science is wrong. When guys like Dr. Robert Malone, who has his name on 9 of the patents for the mRNA vaccine technology, says don't do it, you listen to these guys. When Jacinda Ardern says she's the one source of truth, no. So I've been coming to these protests and marches since October, and I knocked off work 6 o'clock this morning, had a few hours sleep, and come in whenever I can.
So when your mandate kicks in, you're going to take the jab, or you're going to leave?
I'm leaving. My daughter's at Vic Uni. She just won a $50,000 scholarship. She had to get the jab. No.
Yeah, it's a sad day for New Zealand when it's mandated like that.
Yeah.
Interesting shirt, man. Love it.
Hey, do what the government says, do what Nebuchadnezzar says, or go into the fire. I'll go into the fire. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Much appreciated.
No worries. Have a good one.
Murray, what brings you to Wellington?
Just to be a part of this wonderful movement and these wonderful people. So I've come over from over the hill, and I bring food every couple of days. Now there's an amazing operation here. You can drop your food off at a warehouse, and their volunteers up there, and the hive of activity is got to be seen to believe. It's wonderful, and the support they're getting. I'm just one of hundreds of people that are dropping food off all the time.
So in your opinion, is this just a small fringe group of New Zealanders that doesn't represent many people, or is this a groundswell of general opinion amongst many in New Zealand?
Well, the latter. I think it's a huge group. I think it's way beyond what even I thought, and I knew it was big. But yeah, people are waking up so as to what's going on, and it's just good to be part of it. I'm meeting a lot of wonderful people, and the atmosphere here is unbelievable, unbelievably good. I don't know where the mainstream news media are getting their information, but it's not what I'm seeing here anyway and feeling. It's great.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's more like a festival. It's a protest, but it's like a festival.
No, it's serious too. This is make or break time, and, but this is just a beginning, I believe. You know, when you see what's happening, what we're dealing with, yeah, we've got a long way to go.
Totally agree. Well, thank you.
Very good.
So I've got one more question to ask you, Don. Do you think that the media has been giving a fair and balanced reporting about this protest?
Absolutely not. I follow the Herald in particular. I'm from Auckland, and they put out so many skewed stories about what's happening here. One in particular, they talked about the violence of the protesters. You know, I've been here pretty much from day one, and I've not seen one single violent act from any of our whānau. And I call them whānau because I've met some amazing people that are unemployed because of the mandates, people that are also have lost their homes, people that have been vaccinated, people that have lost loved ones through the shot. So, and we're just all mums, dads, grandparents, uncles, aunties, you know, children. And, you know, we're all unified in our approach. You know, we want our freedom back. So there's no violence. The only violence that I've seen occur is from the police force, where they came and they did some, you know, atrocities. And I've heard that 10 police resigned over it. So the reports, and I saw Jacinda do her interview yesterday morning, totally skewed. So absolutely not. They are not reporting the truth.
Great, thanks, Don.